This show is a part of the Quite the Thing Media Podcast Network.
Hello and welcome to Season 2, Episode 9 of Gamers Watch Podcast. I am Shaun, and as always with me is Harry.
I'm still ill.
Not as ill though.
Not as ill, but I'm still a poorly boy. I've got bacterial bronchitis. It's lovely.
Oh, lovely.
I apologise if anyone catches it via their headphones. I do apologise.
If you cough them over the waves.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Anyway, you know the drill by now. If you like us, or if you don't, I don't care, share it. Follow us on Twitter at GamersWatchCrew. Leave us a review. And I'm going to remember it this time. Buy our merch.
Buy our bloody merch.
I remembered it. Got it.
Yes. So yeah, like Shaun said, even if you don't like this show, just share it anyway. We were thinking about recording for 6 hours non-stop today. But we're not going to do that because I think that you would have to be absolutely out of your mind to record a podcast for 6 hours non-stop. Even more so if we just spoke about PS Now for 6 hours, that would possibly be the dumbest thing in the world. So shout out to PS Vortex, who spoke for 6 hours about Xbox Game Pass.
As a PlayStation podcast.
Yeah, PlayStation podcast, and they spent 6 hours saying, I don't like Game Pass, it's not very good because I don't like it. So it was great content, and we're going to do much of the same, so set your alarms, set your timers for 6 hours time and just sit down and relax. PS Now's banging at the moment, isn't it, Shaun?
Oh, I love it. So many games to stream.
Yeah, even if you've got shit internet, then, you can always watch them buffer. It's great. So, Shaun,
yes.
We did some really terrible Game in 60 Seconds last week, didn't we?
Oh, they were some of the worst ones I think we've actually ever done.
Hang on, Shaun.
Ooh.
Do you hear that?
I think I heard something behind us.
Oh, is there someone at the door?
All right, cunts.
Duncan's back.
Hi guys. How you doing?
That's our big sitcom intro. Hello, cunts.
Sorry about that.
So yeah, we would like to welcome Duncan back to the podcast.
Hey.
Cheers. Thanks a lot. Congratulations for flourishing without me, like all of my ex-girlfriends. Awesome.
Congratulations on no longer needing a girlfriend.
I got married, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Our boy got hitched.
I did. Been a whole month now.
That's crazy.
It's wonderful. Not even saying that to be silly. It's
joyous.
It's really lovely. And
I've got another baby on the way.
Fantastic. Yes, congrats.
You've got married.
You big shagger.
Shaun, how's things going?
I've just put on more weight. That's basically it.
I think we all have, to be perfectly
Oh, no, wait.
honest.
I've also started writing for Lords of Gaming.
Yes, you have. You have indeed.
That happened.
Yeah, that happened. So talk a little bit more about that.
Lords of Gaming is a website, and they also do a podcast called the Iron Lords Podcast. Yeah. And I'm basically just going to be writing about what I want. Is pretty much what they said. It's
creative
a lot more creative freedom than the other thing I was going to fall into.
Ooh.
But yeah,
let's move on from that quite swiftly.
Yeah, but yeah, it's going to be good fun. And the CEO of Lords of Gaming's announced today that he's co-hosting a podcast with I can't remember their names. But it's
Defining Duke, though, isn't it?
Huh?
Is it Defining Duke? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's the name of the show, and it's run by Colin Moriarty, who used to work at IGN and then Kind of Funny,
and also thinks that $70 games are acceptable. So swings and roundabouts.
Yeah,
great guy.
He also said that through the week.
Yeah. Should we do our terrible Game in 60 Seconds, Shaun?
Yeah, let's improve them a bit from last week.
Okay, so your one your one was atrocious. Just replay that for us, please.
So mine was Matthew Mercer and George R.R. Martin are forming sinister schemes together.
Okay, so Matthew Mercer.
Yep.
He is a dungeon master.
Yep.
George R. R. Martin talks about dragons.
He loves his dragons.
So Dungeons and Dragons, and the Sinister Scheme was a Dark Alliance.
Yep.
Here's my problem with that, Sean. Here's my problem with that. You could have just said Matthew Mercer.
I know,
because
but that's not
he
as
is
fun.
a dungeon master for Dungeons
and Dragons.
and Dragons. So that's my main problem with that, is that you gave away the entire game in the first 2 words.
Yeah, but if I just do him, then there's no Dark Alliance.
I still didn't get it, to be fair.
It would be like me saying football this year. Oh, it's FIFA 21. Like, that's the level that you've gone for, Sean. What's your clue this week then, Sean?
So my clue this week is the Jackson 5 got a bit frantic when 2 of them left.
So, Sean, you told us this before we recorded.
Yeah.
This is worse than last week's. This is worse than last week's one.
It's abysmal.
It actually is. Do you think anyone's going to get this, Duncan?
No fucking chance. They are Rain Man if they get it this week. Yes.
So, my clue this week... Oh, shit, no, I need to do my clue from last week, don't I? Bollocks, I've forgotten how to do this. Okay. So, Wait, what was my clue last week, Sean? I forgot.
It was the avocados.
Oh, shit, yeah. Okay, so my clue last week was those avocados keep punching each other, or they're punching each other again. And, of course, that was Guacamole 2. And
That's a great
I'm quite
clue.
happy with that one. I'm properly happy with that one. My one this week's not so good. And I've forgotten it again. Shit. Do you remember it, Sean?
No, you told me it once.
Oh, God, no. Stall for time. I've got to remember the game
I'm trying to
first.
remember what actual game it was. Yeah.
Oh, my God. This show is just getting worse and worse.
Why do you not write these down?
I don't know. Right. I'm going to... You know what? This is fucking terrible.
I'll just repeat mine. The Jackson 5 got a bit frantic when 2 of them left.
I still don't know what mine is. I'll tell you what. Let's just cut. And we're back in the room. Okay, so my clue this week is that former Prime Minister has joined a coven, and that's just really easy. So, yeah, everybody's hopefully going to get that. So that former Prime Minister has joined a coven. Not quite as good as last week, but better than yours, Sean. Hey?
Debatable.
No, I don't know. Your one doesn't make sense.
It does.
It doesn't make sense.
It does.
But Sean, let's move on. We've disappointed the people enough.
Ruined their days already.
Let's talk about some games. So, Sean, Game Pass or Play, what was your game to play?
My game was The Little Acre.
It was indeed. And my game, it was quite similar, was Mech Warrior 5. Very similar.
Identical almost.
Do you want to talk about your one first? No, actually, no. I'll talk about my one first because it's a very quick review.
Okay.
It's good. Like, it's just quite good. It's fun. You play as a big giant robot. The only way that I can explain it is a mess of a game that for some reason works quite well. Some of the worst screen tearing I've ever seen, like worse than Xbox One trying to play Cyberpunk. Some of the screen tearing that was happening was atrociously bad. But, you just play as a giant robot. You land on random places. They go and tell you to shoot other big robots. You shoot the big robots, and then you go back to your base, and then you make your robot better and faster and stronger and smarter. And it's just very fun. I would recommend it if you enjoy punching things and big robots. Like, that's my review. It's a completely horrendous mess of a game that has some really great gameplay.
Kind of like the old Robot Wars game then. That was terrible but fun at the same time.
Yes, that is this. It's Pacific Rim, but not fun, but sort of amazing at the same time.
That's a great explanation.
Yeah, it's just bonkers. But then I like the other Mech Warrior games, so I was obviously going to like this one. If you like the idea of being in a giant robot, then play it. Basically, if you imagine Titanfall and Titanfall 2, the bits where you get the mechs, but make it so that the gameplay is awkward and they're really clunky to control, and then sort of you've got missions to do, and that's the only way I can explain it.
Really sold
good.
it for me. Yeah.
Give it a go. It's only like 48 gigabytes, and my broadband barely reaches 12 meg sometimes, and it took me 3 days to download it. So yeah, give it a go.
Sounded amazing. I was so confused from all that because you said you started with it's a great game, and I was reading the show notes at the same time where you've written Mech Warrior 5, which is a clunky mess of a game.
Yeah, but I kind of secretly love it.
Yeah, I can see that bit now, but
Yeah, like it's a mess of a game, but it's quite good. So yeah,
fair
give it a
enough.
go. It's a gameplay from me, just because I like big punchy robots. How was the Little Acre, Sean?
The Little Acre was really fun. Yeah, I really liked it. The art style was amazing because it's all hand drawn as well.
Yeah.
And it's just a lovely little point and click adventure game. It doesn't last long at all. I think it's about hour 45 total. But yeah, I couldn't find any faults with it really. I think I'm glad I knew the length of it beforehand, because I think if I went into it not knowing how short it was, once it did end, I would be a bit like, but knowing it was that short, once it ended, I was like, oh, that was really good fun.
Because you've played it as well, haven't you, Dunks?
Yeah, I completely agree with Shaun. It's just lovely. There's no other way to describe it. Just really, really sweet, nice and short. I think it's an achievement for doing it under an hour. Just lovely. Wouldn't have touched it without a Game Pass. So
I think my favourite thing about it is I love all the characters. I think they're all really endearing in their own little way.
Yeah, I did for the first opening of it. It felt like there was a couple of frames missing, like in the animation. But when you get to the meat of the story, I don't know. It just felt like it was animated a little better. If I'm being a bit critical, but it's lovely. It's lovely. Just. You can knock it out on the cloud on your lunch break. Lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd literally just played it on the Sunday morning because I woke up earlier than Lucia, so I just sat in bed, played it while I was waiting for her to wake up. But I haven't looked into the devs too much, so I don't know if it was just like a one-off thing or if it was like a sort of test to see if they'd be interested in making a longer point-and-click game. But I hope they do make more in that world.
Yeah, definitely. It was, like you say, it was a really nice world to play in. Sorry, I just clunked two glasses together. Apologies for that. Because I've got my 9 pints of water next to me. Yeah, it was just like a really enjoyable little world that you entered. It just was nice. It was just chill. Like everything worked well. The point and click didn't feel clunky on a controller, and I think that's very difficult to do. I've played a few point and click games where they felt a little bit clunky, but it just ran really smoothly, quite nicely. And yeah, like you say, just get it on the cloud, smash it out over lunchtime. Just lovely, really nice.
That was
just lovely. Yeah.
One of the like main parts of the story. There's a certain character you're looking for, and I thought that was going to be like the big sort of finale ending thing you find out, and they just sort of quickly drop what's happened to him and then move on like halfway through it. It's hilarious.
Yeah, like don't worry about that, it's fine.
But they didn't even seem like bothered by it.
No.
The thing that happens, like, well, never mind.
These things happen. It's okay.
That's
life. You had to find out. You had to find out one day what actually happens. Don't worry. But yeah, just a very lovely, sweet game. Shaun, what was the reason that I gave you to play the Little Acre?
Because you wanted to give me time to finish Final Fantasy X.
And did you finish Final Fantasy X?
I have. Yeah, I finished it before the last episode.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Oh, dude, mate, I was pumped up with so much cough medicine. I barely remember what day we recorded that last podcast.
But yeah, I finished it now, so I'm playing.
We better not talk about it too much. We better not talk about it too much. We don't want to,
alienate
upset people.
Everyone.
We don't want to alienate people who don't like JRPGs.
Well, bollocks to that guy, because I really enjoy listening to that. I haven't played Final Fantasy X since it came out, but I remember quite a lot of it, and it was just, I thoroughly enjoyed, lads, just listening to you two talk about it in depth.
You.
About how much you liked it.
It's very rare that I like something, so I took.
Me. Harry's played a game for 45 minutes. I can believe it.
Well, we'll be talking about Yakuza Like a Dragon next week, and I think a little bit of that might come back because oh boy, that game is tough. Oh.
You have played it for a bit longer than 45 minutes now, though, because
I've played it for about
me again
3.5 hours. And of that 3.5 hours I've played so far, I've had the controller in my hands for roughly 8 minutes. So it's been good so far.
Yeah.
What chapter are you on?
I'm on chapter 2, I think. Like the end of
okay.
chapter 2. But
Not too far away from
man, there's some cutscenes in that game.
Yeah,
Ooh,
the
boy.
first 2.5 chapters are very cutscene heavy.
The first 2.5 chapters are just cutscenes, Sean.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that next week. Don't worry, guys. Spoiler alert, slightly. But I am enjoying what little gameplay there is so far. But we'll talk a lot more about that next week.
Are you finding it better with an English dub as well?
Oh my god, yes. It's almost as if localization exists. Weird, that, isn't it? Sean.
Yeah.
Do you remember a couple of months back when Duncan was on the show last? We had a story, didn't we, about him?
Well, he had a story about him.
There was a tale that was never
We didn't
told.
have the story.
Do you remember that tale that was never told?
I remember it well.
So
The passed out wanking one.
yes, that's the one. That is indeed the one. So
face my demons.
I think that it's only fair.
Hang on a minute.
Okay.
We're playing Sea of Thieves Pirates Life for the next Game Pass.
Oh
we'll play.
yeah, we're playing Sea of Thieves next. Yeah, forgot about that.
Forgot that one.
I'm just not feeling well, Sean. My brain is not with it today. I feel like this podcast
just so excited to hear this story. That's what it is.
This podcast is either going to be half an hour or 5 hours long. Like I don't know where my brain is right now. We're playing Sea of Thieves, Pirates of the Caribbean mashup. I've seen a little bit of it. I've heard a few things that are good. I've heard a few things that are bad. I've seen that there's a game-breaking bug in one of the tall tales. So yeah, mixed bag going into it. But who knows? Maybe it will surprise me. But yeah, we need to go back many, many a month. Because Duncan, you teased this story, and then obviously your life just basically became too busy to sit down and basically talk shit every week.
Yeah, because some tough bits came up.
Yeah.
So thanks for having me back. Missed it.
That's all right.
Yeah, well, I did think that you needed some more highbrow comedy, so that's why I thought now is a good time to talk about the time that I passed out after having a wank.
Yeah, there's nothing more highbrow than your penis, so let's go.
That's what she said. Oh, yeah.
Like an olive in a bush.
I don't trim anymore. What's the point? Married
No,
now.
no need. No need. It looks like an old button on a cardigan at this point.
only on a cold day, yeah.
I think you might be a diabetic. Let's go on.
Yeah, I can't eat peas anymore. So it's scarily getting on. About 20 years ago, me and an ex my first girlfriend, we were gonna go camping. So we I bought a tent, set it up in the back garden just to kind of practice putting it up. Won't go into the details. But the next day, when I was in the shower, now for the purposes of the story and how I didn't notice this before, I come from the hood, which is to say I wear a turtleneck, which is to say I'm not circumcised. So just doing
to our American listeners, it's not normal over here. It's very bizarre that you all have that cut off. Really weird. But yeah, let's continue. Now we've discussed your foreskin, we can really get into this.
Yeah. So having a shower, doing all the bits, pull skin back, and there's a blade of grass in between my bell end and the hoods. So I thought, it's fucking weird. Use your imagination of how you think it got there. Because I'm fucking work it out.
You were ploughing some soil. That's
wiping my cock on worms that night. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You shouldn't have asked me back. So anyway, blade of glass there, and I just didn't think of it. Whipped it out, had a wash, carried on with my day, and then the next day, my family were out, and I was having a shower, and so I need to explain kind of how kind of the layout of my house was. So as you're coming through the front door, you've got the hallway, the stairs go straight up, and you can see my bedroom door, and just to the left of that is the bathroom door. So it was, family were out. I'm pretty sure I was going to have a shower, so I was already naked. So I walked into the bog. And I think I had a copy of FHM because back then didn't have high speed internet. You had to really work hard to have a wank. So I had a copy of FHM. I was having a go. So then I'm starting the process, and it's a little bit sore. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? So I'm kind of I'm bashing away, but I'm like, I'm kind of really, it's really stinging.
Ploughing through though, dedication.
Obviously, because you're 17. Once you start, but the thing is, I'm banging away for so long, like 45 minutes. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to give myself some overtime pay in a minute because I'm there for so bloody long. And then, but obviously, what I didn't realise what the pain was is that the day before, when I whipped the bit of grass out, I'd given myself a paper cut on my bearings.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Oh my god.
And obviously, the more pain I'm in, I'm like, well, I just need to finish now, and whatever. So I'm like tugging even harder to try and like just brute force my way to climax. But what obviously I didn't realise that I'd opened the wounds by being tougher with my dick.
God.
So then I somehow it came. And then I looked down, and then in mixing with my spunk was blood coming out of it.
Oh my god!
And I immediately went into shock because I don't know about you, but blood coming out your willy isn't a nice sight. So I thought, oh my god, I'm going to pass out. I'm going to be sick. So I thought I just need to get back into bed. So I've taken one step out of the bathroom, gone to turn, and then I blacked out, and I can still remember now my head hitting the floor. My dad was recarpeting, so it was literally just like a bit of plywood that I've nutted on the way down. Bearing in mind I'm naked and I've got my hand on a bloody penis, and I don't know how long I was out for, but then all of a sudden I was just woken up to the sound of Duncan, and it's getting louder because as I'm coming to, it's like Dunk, are you all right? And then so I've kind of come to, but I'm as I wake up, I'm basically I'm prone to penetration, so I'm kind of I've landed like with my arse in the air effectively.
Oh my god!
I've kind of come to, and I've looked round, and my mum's at the bottom of the stairs, just looking up at my gaping arsehole, holding her bags of ice and shopping. And she's just like, "Are you all right?" Also, I couldn't say anything. So I just got up, stumbled back into my bedroom, got into the fetal position in beds,
and had another wank.
This time I just finished on my chest.
Oh my god!
So yeah, there we go.
Have you ever discussed that since with your family? Has that ever been brought up since?
No, I just thought I'd tell people on the internet instead.
Oh man!
I told Georgia on our first date. We're married now, so you know.
Oh, quite the aphrodisiac that story then.
Laying the cards out on the table.
Any ladies listening? Grab a towel. Fuck me. You passed out with your arsehole directly facing the stairs,
facing the front door. So if they were guests, then
oh my god,
they would have seen a 7-year-old's bumhole. And I was thinner then, but I've always had quite a thick bottom. So and it's quite hairy. So you might say cavernous. So not a sight I would want anyone to see, let alone my mum after I've had a wank.
Wow.
So yeah.
Was there any lasting damage to the paper cut penis, or paper cut penis is not a sentence I thought I'd be saying today, Duncan.
I can't.
So thank you for that.
I can't deal with any penis trauma. Even hearing about it, I get really woozy.
Right.
But I've not
I've got a story
kids.
Then.
I did split my ball bag open on some scaffolding once too.
Oh my god!
So yeah,
that's a story for another episode. I have a penis related story, but it's not my penis.
Okay. Do you need consent before you tell us?
I won't be naming names, but me and Shaun did go to school with this gentleman.
Oh, now I'm going to try and figure out who it is.
He does come into my work quite often. What I'm going to just very quickly do is message Shaun the name of this individual, and you'll know who it was. So basically, this... you should have that message now, Shaun. This person that I'm going to talk about, he used to be a bit of like an indie emo scene kid, and part of his persona was that he wore very, very, very tight white jeans, right? Like skin tight, so tight that you could see the individual pubes on the guy.
I just want to say he deserves whatever he gets.
And that was sort of his look. And so he used to go to quite a lot of house parties. I used to go to quite a few house parties. And he was like bumping and grinding against this girl for quite some time. And they were like getting it on, and they were like making out, and they were like sharing their Lambrini and their Golden Virginia rollies. It was really romantic. And he was like basically dry humping her on the floor at one point. And then he screamed like a guttural scream. And he stood up, and he had a red patch on his crotch.
Oh no.
I can't.
And his penis snapped.
Oh,
His jeans were so tight that when he got an erection, the tip pushed against the button, and when he dry humped, it snapped it in half. And yeah, he basically like pulled his penis like you'd pull a muscle, but he tore the inside of it as well. And yeah, it just leaked blood, and he didn't realise, and he was like dry humping this girl for like 5 minutes. And then yeah, he looked down, screamed, and then we had to call the paramedics, and they had to come and take him to hospital, and they had to cut him out of his jeans. It was hilarious.
Wow.
Yeah. And this same person also used to have 2 nipple rings, and he went into a tackle when playing rugby and tore both his nipples off.
Okay. I was going to say as well, after seeing your message of who it was, that's also the same person, if you remember, that basically like destroyed my kneecap by tackling me in American football on the field.
Shaun.
Do you remember that?
Just, you need to tell this story right now.
So we was playing American football, and I caught the ball basically from a pass, and I think it was. I
threw it.
Was it you that threw it? I thought it was. Oh no, he'd done that wonder catch, didn't he?
He did the wonder catch, one-handed, behind the back, Odell Beckham Jr. style. Just to give you an idea, Tom is a dungeon master, and he was not the kind of athletic specimen that you're expecting. He was about 4'5", really skinny, curly hair, and milk bottle glasses, and he picked out a spiral pass with one hand. It was the best moment of his life, basically.
Sounds like a Hollywood feel-good story.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was like when Danny Dyer scores the winning goal in Mean Machine. It was amazing.
Fucking shit film, mate.
And so we were playing quite a bit, and I threw this fucking spiral to Shaun, and it was like slow motion, perfect spin on it. And Shaun, you grapple it with 2 hands, don't you?
I picked it out there.
You picked it.
Didn't get a chance to turn though. Didn't get a chance to turn because the person in question decided to steamroll straight into the back of me, and then when we landed, not only did the front of my knee slam into the ground, but the front of his knee then slammed straight into the back of my knee. And it was at lunch break as well, so we still had half the day basically to go. And Luke had to carry me basically like on his shoulders for the rest of the day. So like going into business studies, the teacher would be like, "What the fuck have you done?" It's like, knee.
Yeah.
Just limping around for the rest of the day.
You still have issues with that knee to this day, don't you, Shaun?
Yes, it clicks basically whenever I move it.
He deserved to lose his nipples. The rat.
So yeah, 2 penis stories, a nipple story, and a story about Shaun's busted knees.
But I do remember for about a minute after my knee went, all I could hear was laughter from all around me. And I was just...
It was really funny.
head down in the grass thinking, this really, really hurts.
Well, quite annoyingly, Shaun, is you took the ball and you left, and we didn't finish the game.
It was my
really
ball.
Quite annoying. Yeah, I know, but it was annoying. But yeah, that dude doesn't have a properly functional penis, and yeah, he has no nipples. So I think he was bringing some of that frustration out directly onto Shaun's knees, maybe.
Possibly, yeah. He saw.
But
red.
it was funny, Shaun. It was really funny.
It was looking back.
Obviously, we've mentioned this before, and it's just something I want to very quickly say. Me and Duncan used to work together. Duncan, did you see the picture that Matt, that worked with us, tagged me in the other day? Yeah. The fat grow window dude. Why is that picture so funny? We're going to put a picture of this. We're going to put a picture of this up on our Twitter. It is just a picture
He
of
must
a
be
guy
standing on some books or something.
just standing out of a window. I don't know why it's so funny, but it's hilarious. But yeah, me and Duncan used to work with each other for quite some time, and you know the little prank feuds that me and Taru used to have, and they did get a little bit out of hand.
Yeah.
Do you remember the best insult that I ever told?
No.
So you're going to know exactly who I was talking about. You remember Russell, don't you?
Oh,
Good old
God.
Russell. Used to pick
So
his belly button
you're
at his
Russell.
desk.
Fucking hell.
Oh.
He used to pick his belly button at his desk and eat the fluff out of it. He used to take his shoes off and pick his toes, like the gunk out of his toenails with a pencil and then chew the gunk off of a pencil. And I really, really didn't like him very much. And it's a bit of an understatement.
It wasn't obvious, though, to be fair.
No, it wasn't obvious.
No,
I just used to
that's
literally shout at him every day and every second of every day, non-stop. But I couldn't handle this guy. And he was a proper little boy racer. He drove this absolutely ridiculously slammed out Honda Civic. He'd painted the engine purple but didn't use heat-proof paint, so it all melted. It was hilarious. And yeah, he just wasn't a great guy. And I remember we were having this little back-to-back one day, and I turned to him and I said, "You know what, Russell? Do you know the only difference between you and Paul Walker?" And he said, "No, what's that?" And I said, "I never wished Paul Walker would die in a fiery car crash." And for that, I got dragged into HR quite quickly. I got given a disciplinary for that. Apparently, you're not allowed to tell people you want them to die in car crashes when you work with them. Who knew? Who knew? Oh, I know what we can talk about now. Duncan, how long have you had your Series S for now?
I got it at Christmas. 6-7 months. I really want an X.
Yeah, they are good.
All the E3 stuff, I'm like, I really want one. So I'm going to get one, have an S upstairs for when you can't get the main telly, get an X for Flight Simulator, and all the lovely stuff coming out. Flight Simulator is going to make me cry.
How have you been enjoying your Series S so far, though?
Good. I mean, I'm not super into graphics and ray tracing and 4K. I read Digital Foundry and get a nosebleed.
They're it's 59 frames. It's
Go over my head. Plays alright. I've got this really annoying bug though that every now and then, if I have my S on a quick resume, it won't load any games, so I've got to power off and power on again.
Oh, really?
But it's annoying. It's not annoying enough to send it off for 3 weeks to get it fixed. But I'm loving it, and I've been trying to play a bit more on the cloud because I've had the cloud app since November last year, I think, because I've managed to get in on the beta.
It works surprisingly well.
It's brilliant. Yeah, I mean, I used to play Destiny 2 loads on my phone. It's great. It's just bloody great being an Xbox fan, isn't it?
It is. And you know what? Actually, there was some good news from Sony today as well. They've purchased another studio, and that's all exciting too. So it's just a great time to play video games.
Isn't it great? Just that people can just play what they want and like it.
Yes.
Imagine that. Just being happy with what you've got. I was getting really sick of Twitter over E3 weekends.
Oh my god, yeah.
Some of the fucking bullshits that I was seeing. I saved some of them. I just need to read this one out.
Right, just hold it right there because I'm about to piss my pants. So we're gonna do another quick cut now. Okay, and we're back. I have just pissed out basically an entire body's worth of water. I don't know if you guys could hear it through the microphone, but I timed it and it was 38 seconds of continuous pissing. So let's talk about shitty people at E3.
Yeah, so I was saying I was getting...
Did you just say congrats?
Did I?
I thought you just said congrats.
Might have done. It's an achievement. 38 seconds and he's still alive.
Yeah.
Each other tail.
Oh, God, that just absolutely killed me. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, so I was just getting really bothered by idiots on Twitter after E3. It was just good. Xbox thing was good. You can't argue it. It's, Shaun, haven't you got a PlayStation 5? I'm sure you have, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got a PS5.
Cool. I hope you enjoy it, mate. How easy was that? It's so fucking easy just to not be a cunt. But there's this one idiot. I'm not going to say his name, but it was after the Forza Horizon.
I'll tell you what. Say his name and I'll bleep it.
All right.
Oh, that guy
yeah,
is
I
a
know.
dickhead.
What a bell ends. And he, I can't believe it. I thought it's got to be satire, but after Forza Horizon 5, which you cannot argue doesn't look unbelievable.
It looks stunning.
Forza,
it looks immense.
And Forza Horizon 4 is impeccable gaming. This looks even better. And this fucking idiot is gone. If you zoom in 400%, you can see that the car still float on screen. What silly cunt is going to zoom in 400% when they're playing this game? Get a grip. Get a fucking grip. And then
basically, the only people that are going to know that are people that play their Xbox at the cinema.
Like, have a fucking wank and a Magnum. Calm down. Fucking hell. But then
that needs to be a shirt. Have a wank and a Magnum.
But then it's not just PS5 guys. I mean, I'm going to call them ponies because grow up. But this guy is on Facebook. I can't remember what post it was on. It was a Eurogamer one. But this guy, he says, so and so, let a game in a genre which requires high skills and therefore having a high skill gap fail again on the PlayStation platform. So what he's saying is that PlayStation gamers aren't good enough at first-person shooters, so therefore shouldn't have a first-person shooter on the console. What? What are you saying? Like, you morons. You absolute fucking just dickheads. Like, I can't.
Forgetting the fact that Call of Duty is the most sold game on the PS5 so far.
Fucking,
Yeah.
like, and there were some dumb fucking dickheads who held up, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 10 copies of PS5 games and was like, this is my Game Pass. It's like, well, no, that's literally not the point, Dick. Like, you don't hold up all of your DVDs and go, this is my Netflix, do you? You don't. Fuck off. Do you know what? Twitter is a hellscape. Like, what a...
Here's the thing. I found the best thing that we've been able to do recently is block and mute.
Yeah.
It is amazing. Our Twitter feed is such a nicer place now that we've blocked and muted people. I do want to just very quickly bring something up. We got the attention of Crap Gamer. He finally accepted his award, and we were messaging via DM. Actually, just a regular dude, not a complete dickhead like I thought he was going to be. And here's my frustration. Is why isn't he like that all the time?
He's attention seeking.
In our DMs, he was a completely different person than he is on his Twitter. He was just saying, like, you know what, actually, I don't mind Xbox. It's just that I feel that Phil Spencer has told a few porkies in the past, and that's where my frustration comes from. I got a PS5 back in 2019, and from then, a PS4 in 2019, and from then on, I've played the backlog of first-party games that came out last generation, and Sony did better. And you know what? Yeah, they did, because The Last of Us is better than Crackdown 3. Like, you don't have to be a genius to work that out. But my problem is that he uses his platform to create these console wars just to get clout. And it doesn't even work because people are unfollowing him and he's lost 4,000 subscribers this year on YouTube. So his bollocks doesn't even work.
And the arguments are just utter shit. They're just inane fucking tribalism that don't make any sense. Like, I would love a PS5 because Spider-Man looks fucking brilliant. I love to play it. I just don't have enough money to spunk another console.
We get called out all the time for being Xbox fanboys, and every single time that happens, I message them back saying, "We own all of the consoles, dickhead. Shaun has a PS5, a Switch, and an Xbox. Like, we have them all. We're not fanboys. It's just you cannot deny that Game Pass is good, and you cannot deny that Sony make banging first-party titles. Those two things are mutually exclusive." Game Pass won't affect games on PlayStation. PlayStation games won't be affected by Game Pass. And we were going to have Crap on our show. And you know what? I don't even want to give him the time. I feel that we've built up a show that is our own, and I would never want anybody to use our platform to sort of like even try and defend themselves. That's not what our show is about. Our platform is our own. It's our own content. It's our own creation. And me and Shaun are pretty proud of what we've made so far. And so we don't want to get into this console war bullshit or have somebody else take all our content and claim it as their own. It's our own stuff. And so, yeah, we decided not to have him on the show, and I think it's the best move. We very easily could have had him on, done a big promotional push, got a shitload of new listeners, but you know what? Those listeners would have been console warriors, and we don't want that. It's pathetic. So yeah, Twitter, block, mute. Oh my god, it makes it so much better.
I know. Well, that's what I've
It's
been doing.
amazing.
Some decent chaps I've met via you guys. I thought I'd better just talk about some games I have played rather than just getting angry about knobheads on the internet.
Yes. Go.
So I'll talk about a Game Pass game that I played for a bit. I don't know if you've got it lined up, but Dark Alliance, have you got that lined up to play at all?
I will be playing it, yeah.
All right. I'll tell you what, it's not a Game Pass game then. Cut that bit out. Chivalry.
No, talk about it. Because I've seen so many mixed things about it.
It's so like I was chatting to one of the guys in the group. It's so much fun, but then it works so hard to piss you off a minute later. Like it's bipolar in how it plays out. So it looks all right. It kind of is a bit of a 360 throwback kind of game. And the environments look all right. And some of the animation is pretty cool. So like if I think the range is called like Catty Bree or some weird name like that. And she does this animation where she'll kind of do a flip, shoot a bow, and that's quite cool. But then on the other hand, if you just like zoom in and start flinging bows off, only her arms move, and there's no animation for the rest of her body. It's horrendous. And then you get locked into an animation. It's weird. It's got so much potential to be very good, but it needs like 6 months in the oven to be half decent. But unlike
almost as if people release games broken and then fix them later.
But I mean, like is that an argument against Game Pass in a way that developers would be like, well, people are going to play it anyway because it's on Game Pass, so don't have to try. I know that's
a good point.
I know that's kind of bollocks because you've got amazing things coming out. But this really shocks me, kind of how just unfinished it is. It's not terrible. I would play it with mates. I think probably be quite fun. But there's a lot wrong with it, and it's just really tired things. Like if you need to jump up on a ledge, they've signaled it with a bit of red cloth draped over the edge of the thing you need to jump on. It's just really fucking dull, boring stuff. And then things like the AI, where you can literally stand 10 metres away from an enemy, fling them arrows, and they won't even look at you, and they'll die. So it's odd, very odd. But there's one game I've been playing. It's a multiplayer only game. So, but it's only 30 quid. It's Chivalry 2. And I'm talking about it
dude.
because I think it's going to come to Game Pass. It feels like a perfect Game Pass game. And it is so much fun. Like, if you ever see it in a sale, get it. It's ridiculous fun.
It's currently on sale on CD keys, and I get the notification for it every day, and I'm so tempted.
It is so much fun. It's quite hard to get into. It feels quite similar to a bit of an odd comparison, but quite similar to Rocket League and Knockout City, where your fun in it is determined by how skillful you are at it. So I hit my skill level quite quickly in Rocket League. Don't enjoy it because I'm shit at it. Like Knockout City, I got all right at it, so I quite enjoyed it. But this is just such stupid fun where you can just run into like a big schmoz of people, fling your sword around, you take a head off, and it's a really satisfying kind of crunchy combat. But then it can get like really in depth as well. So if it's you and against fucking Jon Snow, because some people are amazing, and you kind of like you go to like do an overhead swing, but then you feint, dodge, and then you stab them. It's brilliant. It's so much fun. I highly recommend it, and it's probably my game of the year so far.
Oh wow!
Which is a bit of a shout.
What else have you been playing along at?
Mass Effect Legendary Edition, just because Mass Effect is unbelievable. Feel like Mass Effect.
Well, I've got a confession that I told you the other day, haven't I, Dunks?
You never played it, you scumbag.
I've never played a Mass Effect all the way through.
You've got some making up to do.
It's so good. I've nearly finished it. Mass Effect 2 is not hyperbolic to say one of the greatest games ever made. It is so perfectly paced. Combat is
have you ever played Goat Simulator?
I haven't. It's fucking shit. Do you know what? I really hate these games with really obtuse fucking controls. They're not fun. They're annoying and shit. Fuck off with that. But anyway,
Mass Effect is quite good.
That's right. Mass Effect 1 hasn't aged very well. The story's still brilliant. But it feels very tired in the combat, and it feels more of a proof of concept of what Mass Effect could be. But 2 is chef's kiss, and I'm getting through 3. It's not as well paced as the second one, and there's some weird changes they've made, and it just feels a bit messy. But it's great. And what else on Game Pass? I played quite a lot of Outriders as well.
I enjoyed that. I really enjoyed Outriders.
Yeah, it's quite good. When you get past the very, very awful writing, it's actually quite fun.
It's a Square game. It's always
fucking hard.
Shitty writing.
Really hard. But yeah, that's I've got some little Game Pass games I'm getting through at the minute, but I'll save those for another day.
There's also a game as well that we were talking about a few months ago that's actually coming to Game Pass now. That I think they said it at E3. It was coming to Game Pass. That's 12 minutes.
Yeah,
that's on Game Pass next month.
Okay, is it next month? Is it? I can't make
that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, the listeners will not realise quite how much I'm hacking my lungs up, I don't think. Jesus Christ.
Could you die quietly?
I'm trying my best. I might just keep one of them in, or instead of using a bleep noise, just have my cough instead. But man, I am dying over here.
Just have a montage of you coughing.
I'll do it at the end. Yeah. Just every cough in a supercut. 12 minutes looks really interesting. I'm very excited for that. There's also The Ascent as well that comes out later this month.
Quite soon.
Yes.
And Gang Beasts is out today.
Yes.
I've got it set to download.
Please, can we do a community game on that?
We need to. We absolutely have to.
I played it on the PS4. It is so much fun. Because in that Party Animals that was announced at E3, I think it's by the same guys. It looks very similar.
It looks great.
It's so much fun. Games are great. I really love video games, don't they?
They are great. They are good. Should we see if Shaun had a game that was great, or if he had a game that was shit?
It ain't quite Party Animals. I'll let you know that for a start.
Well, it's time to find out if Shaun has thought of a game that is better or worse than Dementia Simulator. So, Shaun, last time we entered you, you told me possibly the worst idea for a game ever, and
one of our listeners disagreed with you. I'll have you know.
Well, that listener's a fucking idiot, then, aren't they?
Actually put on Twitter that they'd play it.
That listener's straight up dumb. So, Shaun, what is the game that me and Duncan will decide whether it is better or worse than Dementia Simulator?
Okay, so this game was actually the first game design I came up with while I was at uni, and it's called Gaia.
Right.
And basically you take on the role of nature, or Earth, whichever way you want to put it, and it's a sort of tower defense / area control game, and it's pretty much you have to use sort of like powers and different forces of nature to protect your area from like different, well, humans mainly, but other creatures in that as well. But there'd be like a sort of fine balance to it. So say you chose the volcano as your character, for example. Obviously you used lava in that to destroy stuff. If you're in a forest and there was, say, lumberjacks like cutting down trees, you could use lava to sort of kill them off, but you'd also have to be careful because that would then damage the land at the same time. So if you attack the same area over and over again, obviously it's not doing you any good either because you're killing off your own area. So yeah, so it was Guy. You play as different.
That is a million times better.
That sounds really good.
Than Dying Grandma Simulator. That's much better than the Forever Sleep. Yeah, I'd give that a go.
That sounds really... Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, it sounds like the best bit from Sim City, but also mixed with Populous at the beginning. So I like that.
I guess it is kind of basically you play as the natural disasters in Sim City, pretty much.
That sounds awesome.
There was a game on Xbox Live Arcades, I think it was called From Dust, where you would like...
my god, I loved that game.
You had to like develop a civilization, but you controlled water, I think, and I can't remember, it's such a long time ago.
You controlled all the elements, and you had to like build structures and areas of land. So you would like pour water over the lava to like create more of an island and stuff. Man, that was a sick game.
But yeah, I'll play that, Sean. That sounds wicked.
Yeah, I'd play that. So
Thumbs up.
we've entered Shaun in public, and we are going to say that Gaia is better than Dementia Simulation.
Sure.
That's a fair one. I'll give you that one, Shaun.
So by the end of this season, are you going to have a leaderboard of what
That's
the
far
best
too
game
much
is,
work.
and then
Far too much effort.
and then the winner goes on Kickstarter, and you actually got to make it. Get it funded on Kickstarter.
That's a great idea.
I could put it on Kickstarter. I don't think it would get funded, any of them, though.
I'll try you.
Donate £5 and Dunks will as well. So that's at least tenner.
Yeah.
I mean, how much do games cost these days?
70 quid? Or do you mean to make?
Yeah, a bit of both. Yeah, you could make a game for a tenner. Fuck it, why not? I really, really like the idea of Gaia. I think that is the best one so
Cool.
far.
I'll do Project Crabbington next.
Oh, fuck that. Well, there's a teaser for the next episode. Christ alive.
Oh.
Sir Crabbington Seaworthy.
He'll be back.
Jesus. Oh, God. You know what? On that note, fuck it. Let's end this shit. Duncan, thank you so much for coming back on. It was a pleasure. Hopefully next time you're on, I'm not dying of scurvy.
Or going to the toilet halfway through.
Could you not?
Yeah. I mean, look, I've drunk 5 pints of water and a litre of tea just to get through this recording, and I'm about to now go and just cough my lungs up. So I think the fact that I'm even here recording this is better than me not being here and us not releasing an episode this week.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah.
I was very close to it today, to saying, I can't do this, I'm just going to do a Best Bits clip show, but I couldn't do that. So I've necked some cough medicine, I've drunk all the water in the natural world, and I've downed a litre of hot tea. So I think all things considered, Shaun, me having to go for a piss and cough my lungs up a few times ain't too fucking bad.
It ain't bad, but it ain't good.
We've missed you, so it was nice to have you back on, and I'm sure you'll be on more frequently in the future anyway.
Hope so.
And also, just a very quick reminder to everybody: do leave us a review on your chosen podcast platform. It helps us out massively. It sort of gets us up the rankings quite well. I know that in April we were the second top gaming podcast on Podchaser, and we did get some good figures from that, so thank you to everyone who's voted for us on there. Also, we've now got 2 Apple podcasts, so leave a review on both of them. That would be great. Share this with a friend, buy our merchandise, and as always, Shaun, keep on listening
And keep on gaming.
fucking hell. Okay.